Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for joining me on this YouTube video. Today we're going to go over the 4 steps to finding your first deal. Now the first step is figuring out how much rent you could get in the area you're interested in investing in. So for that, you can go to rentometer.com. That'll tell you what the average rent you pay for a whole house in the area. Let's say you're buying like a 3 bedroom, 2 bath house. You just type in how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms there are into rentometer.com, paste the address or the address of one of the houses in the area, and then you just click search and it'll tell you what the average price is, what the highest rent price is, and what the low is. And that gives you a lot of insight into how much rent you could get in that area. Another way I basically figure out the rent is going to Craigslist and Facebook housing groups. Now those will tell you basically how much rent you could get for a whole house, but it also tells you how much rent you could get per bedroom. And for me, I actually use the rent by the room model. By renting out each bedroom, you can get a lot more cash flow compared to renting out as the whole house. So I frequently use those to figure out how much can I get for one room for rent. And if I can make this into, like, let's say a 5 bedroom place and each room rents out for 600, that means I could rent the whole house out for $3,000 by doing the rent by the room. Now, the next thing you want to do is figure out, of course, how much the house is worth in that area. So take an average 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house. And the reason why I do 3 bed, 2 bath is because that's the most desirable house somebody would want to live in as a single family. So most people want 3 beds and 2 baths, and then figure out how much that is using Zillow.com. Just type in your zip code, that zip code of the area you're interested in investing in, and then look around for 3 bed, 2 bath houses and figure out what the average price is. Usually you want to buy a house that's in better condition, unless of course you're like a flipper or you're doing like a burr, then you would look for more rundown houses usually. Okay, the third thing you want to do is research the area itself. So figure out, okay, hospitals in the area, how many beds do those hospitals have? If they're very large hospitals, they employ a lot of people. And a lot of times, like for me, I will rent out to healthcare workers because they're a great quality tenant. The other thing is colleges in the area. If you're going to do student rentals and rent out to students, you're going to want to choose an area that has high-end colleges with a good amount of people enrolled. The last thing you can look for is companies in the area. So are there some big companies, like big tech companies, that pay very well? You want to really focus on companies that pay very well rather than just like a standard McDonald's or something like that. Because you want somebody who can, of course, afford the rent and that they're making a lot of income so that paying the rent is no problem for them. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is actually visiting the houses, because you can do all the research you want online, and that's fine. Even like for out-of-state rentals, there are people who purchase a house sight unseen. But a lot of times, if you can, you want to get a walkthrough of the house at least, so you can determine what condition it's in, so the agent can either get you the video walkthrough or you can go visit the house in person. Another thing is, if you visit in person, it'll tell you what the condition of the neighborhood looks like if there's a lot of trash on the streets or a lot of homeless walking around that makes people uncomfortable and make them feel like this area is unsafe. Usually high-end tenants don't want to stay in an area that they feel is unsafe, right? So it's very important you walk the neighborhood whenever possible and determine what the condition of the house is by doing an actual walkthrough of the house or getting a video walkthrough of the house. So I hope those tips were very helpful for you guys. Those are the first steps anyone should be taking when analyzing a deal and finding their first deal. Please join me again next week for next week's YouTube video, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this one. Thank you.